It was a great feeling. When I walked on the field, I really just acknowledged where I was at. My parents made a joke. It's like the first day of class today. And we took my bunch of pictures after practice. But no, it's definitely cool to be an NFL quarterback, to get my feet wet, get acclimated with everything. And so it was definitely a dream come true for sure.
Jalen, the Senior Bowl was a ways away, and then you had the combine after that. You obviously been working with Jordan Palmer. Was there stuff that you were working on during the Senior Bowl and your throwing motion that maybe you're further along with now than you were then?
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest thing is everything works from the ground up at a quarterback position. Understanding the lower half mechanics of how I operate. Every quarterback is different, and so doing a deep understanding of how my body functions at the quarterback position with throwing the ball. And so understanding how to distribute my body when it comes to the lower half mechanics and things like that. And it's been a focus for us. And so with that, it's all about being an efficient passer. And so the more you work, the more you understand your body, you're going to be more of an efficient passer. So, that's something that we work on and continue to work on so I can be the best quarterback I can be.
What's it like as a quarterback trying? Everybody out there on the field was learning everything the first day today. Like, that's pretty unusual. And even college, like, somebody knows what's going on. Like, to try to put all that on your plate and lead that and kind of know as much as you can about what's going on. What's that challenge like for you?
You got to be smart. You got to be smart at the quarterback position. You got to prepare. You got to emphasize how much you love football and how much you care. Because you care, it's gonna wear off on the other guys. Because your presence and when you communicate with the guys around, when you communicate a play call, also understanding the operation, understanding the schemes, maneuvers. Because we're playing in the NFL now. You got to play on time. You got to understand your assignment, and so it's so important. And so having that opportunity today and seeing that, I think that was something that was definitely evident when it comes to performing today.
Did you wear a wristband in college?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Jaden Daniels last year talked about how he started using a virtual reality headset and doing it at a faster speed to help work on progressions and timing. That's something you've talked about maybe working on. Have you used any of that technology or tried it out?
So it's funny you just mentioned that because me and my new head coach, we talked about doing that, and so from now to game one, I'm going to utilize that.
How long have you been training with Jordan Palmer, and where does that happen?
Year and a half, and it happens in San Clemente, California.
I know it's really early, but are there similarities between what the Seahawks are going to ask you to do and what Alabama in terms of the offense and the scheme and things like that?
Yeah, so like I had 3 different coordinators while I was at school at Alabama. With that, we saw football in different lenses with each coordinator. But, of course, you have different terminology, you have different formation adjustments. And so seeing now in the lenses of Coach Kubiak and seeing how he calls plays and how, your footwork and, your timing, all those things are maybe different. But system as a whole, everything, correlates for sure. But, it's the details and understanding that, all of us as a group, as a team, the quarterback room, all should be flowing together.
And going back to just your presence, how do you balance the patience for your teammates to understand the play and yet the urgency to execute the play?
I think that's a really good question. Because I think that's so important because we should all flow in the same accordion on offense. And one thing that's evident on offense is unique because, we need all 11 guys to click. If 10 guys do the right assignment but one guy does not, we all fail as a group. And so I think it's so important at the quarterback position that we emphasize everyone's responsibility, be assertive and understand, pushing the tempo, pushing everyone's assignment, and also understand it takes all of us. And so I understand that when it comes to me performing at my best is understanding that we need the whole group, and it takes all of us, 11 on offense.
Jalen, 11-man draft class, 9 on the offensive side of the ball. There's a chance that as a group you guys can grow together here. What does that kind of opportunity present to you guys?
It's so exciting, especially having practice today. Like, we had some talent on offense, and it showed today. Like, we had really, really good dudes in each room. A lot of talent, a lot of guys that love football, that care. Just it's funny, seeing how much everybody loves football. Like, communicating before we even had practice, doing walkthrough, doing install, preaching the reads, what's my footwork, talking to those different guys because they care. They want to know how they can be their best at their particular position. And so, it's definitely cool, just to see the amount of talent we have in our draft class.
What was it like growing up with 2 military parents?
Yeah, so, having 2 military parents, you definitely emphasize determination, grit, goals, short-term goals, long-term goals, and understanding that it takes a team. You know, and never, I don't believe in the word self-made at all. It takes a team to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. And so, you know, my team was here today at practice. They definitely emphasize, you know, love, and so they were here today. But I think that's something that I'll take with them being in the military.
Do you have a goal for what you want this season? I mean, just get on the field in any way, or?
Yeah, my goal, honestly, is to come in and be the best version of myself, be better than I was the day before, and earn the trust and respect of everyone in the organization. Everyone from the top down, earn the trust and respect. You know, with that, it comes other things, but that's number one. You know, any guy that comes in, no matter where you're selected in the draft, the first pick in the draft to the very end of the draft, you're Mr. Irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You're trying to earn the respect and trust of everybody in the locker room and the organization. And so with that, it comes with being a good teammate as well, and being a good teammate to Sam Darnold, Drew Lock, everyone in the room, the coaches, showing that I care, I'm studying. So, you know, other goals come with that, but the niche of everything is that.
Any significance to the number choice?
I didn't select the number. I know there's vets on the team. I'm going to pay respect to them. They've been here before me. And so when the time comes, I'll select the number. But right now, I ain't going to choose the number.
Jalen, you mentioned the trust aspect. Obviously, that's critical playing the quarterback position. But you've only been here a few days. How much easier is it to develop trust, though, in the players that you have around you when you have receivers that also have played special teams and clearly love the game, offensive linemen that have pretty much played every position that are in front of you? How much easier is it to develop that trust when you have all these guys that you know love the game
Yes.
and they are just willing to do whatever it takes to help their team out?
So one thing that's key before we touch the field, we have a bunch of walkthroughs. We have walkthroughs. We have schedules where we're all aligned. So with that, you have communication. I think with communication, you're more effective as a group. And so with that, it comes with the timing, of course, in the passing game and the running game, understanding the mic point, where we're going as a whole group. And so it's communication. Communication is the biggest thing when it comes to offense. And so I think at the core position, it starts number one there, emphasizing that we're all on the same accordion. And it takes practice reps. But for practice one, that was a really good day. Like when it comes to timing, everyone flowing, the tempo that we played with, everyone caring, appreciating. When you make a good play, everybody's celebrating and congratulating that person. No one was selfish in that sense. Everyone was caring about each other because, you know, we're trying to reach the same goal. No matter where you're at on the depth chart, we're trying to all be successful. So I think that was something that I saw that I'm really happy about because we have a lot of good dudes that was on the football field today.
So did the Seahawks really tell you you were the best quarterback in the draft? Or?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
How long after you got drafted did you get a chance to get the playbook?
It's funny. So as soon as I celebrated, the next day I got the playbook. So it was quick turnaround for sure. You know, definitely now this is my job. You know, now I know where I'm going to be. It's a long process for sure. So now I know where I'm at now. But yeah, it was a quick turnaround.
What was that
Studying
feeling?
since then?
Been studying.
What's your early impressions of the scheme?
So my early impressions is you gotta prepare. You gotta study. You gotta know it like the back of your hand, and you gotta study. You gotta get extra time in with the coaches. One thing that's for certain, the meeting time is not enough for grasping the offense. You gotta take extra time aside when you're not around the coaches, whether you're with your teammates, whether you're at home. Always time to grow and learn the system, because when you know the system, when you have great preparation, you play even better, and it wears off on the other guys at the quarterback position.
How much do you see playing at Alabama already paying off with this process? And being in a program that consistently kicks out a lot of NFL players, there's the expectation that we're going to be a pro program. Right. How are you seeing that already playing out here, coming to the league and maybe making the acclimation process a little easier?
For sure, like number one, like the center of excellence, no matter what we're doing, no matter if it's a walkthrough, everybody's getting a rep. Like whether you're on the field or you're off the field, you're getting a rep. You know, something that was emphasized while at school, I never forget, was at spring practice, and one of our coaches called the whole group up. He called one of our players on the team. He said, "Hey, how many reps did you get?" So of course he sat there, scratched his head, trying to think how many reps he got. He said, "I'm gonna stop you right there. You got all of them if you did it right. You got a mental rep and a physical rep." And so I think that's important for all of us, you know, as we're trying to achieve success and achieve greatness and whatever we want to do on the field. I think that's important.
What was it like throwing to Elijah Arroyo today?
Big target. I threw him some nice balls today, and he wanted to go get that ball, and I was happy. But he's a dude. You know, it's fun. It's so funny, you know, how this process is. You know, We all don't know where we're going during the process, but me and him went on a couple visits together. We communicated. You know, we just talked about how great it would be if we were teammates. And I remember getting a text from him saying, "Man, we're gonna be teammates." So it was definitely exciting. And now to get back on the field with him, it's been really cool.
You were an academic Heisman, and I asked Robbie Utes about like how did you do that, and an athlete. What are you going to spend all that time you were doing in class? Where's that time going to be dedicated now?
Taking care of my body. Biggest thing is when you take care of your body, you're available on the football field. So the time frame that I'm not preparing mentally with the playbook, with the guys in the room, different rooms, is taking care of my body. Taking care of my body so that I can be available for the coaches and my teammates. So I think replacing that schoolwork is going to be more about taking care of my body and also watching film and being in my playbook.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.